Okay, so we're going to go ahead and subtract polynomials. This is very much using the same skill set that we did for adding polynomials. We do have to add one thing. So the like terms, we have to use that again. So we recognize like terms, and then we combine them by, of course, we add the coefficients and keep the variable. Once, of course, we have ascertained it is indeed a like term, or they are like terms. The other thing we need to deal with is the distributive property. Whenever you have a negative out front of a parentheses, you have to distribute the negative or some of you like to put in the -1, put in that 1 there, to the parentheses that follows the negative. So this is the thing that's different, is this using this distributive property to get rid of this parentheses. So some of you are going to put that 1 in there, and that's fine. If you like the 1, use it. If you don't need it. It's no big deal. Now the first parentheses you see here, there's nothing in front of it, there's nothing around it. So again, it's one of those, it's just saying, hey, this is a trinomial, not performing a mathematical function. So we just bring it out. Now there is an extra step in this one, and I always tell students to do this step, and the ones who do it almost always get it right, and the ones who don't usually get it wrong. So now we're going to distribute the negative, or the -1, to everything in this parentheses. So -1, negative times positive, negative times negative, and now we got rid of the parentheses, and now it's the same as the other thing. We have to find our like terms. So I'm going to take this the long way and just go ahead and rewrite it so the like terms are together. And we see that we've got like terms here, like terms here, like terms here. And when we combine like terms, remember, we just talked about that. When we combine them, we add the coefficients, so we add the 7 and the -3, keep the variable. We add the coefficients 5 and -2, keep the variable. And here we've got just constants, so we just add them like we normally would, and we're done. And we just subtracted that those two trinomials. So the next one, we do the same basic thing. So again, if you want to put the 1 in there, put the 1 in there. If you don't need the 1, then don't use it. It doesn't matter. Mathematically, it's equivalent. But again, I'm going to rewrite this, taking the first trinomial out of the parentheses. It is unnecessary. And now I'm going to distribute the negative to the second trinomial, noticing that the signs change. And now I'm going to gather like terms. And now the squareds. So here's a set of like terms, the y cubes. Here's another set of like terms with the y squareds. And here's another set of like terms with just the y's. So again, when we combine like terms, we just add the coefficients, keep the variable. Add the coefficients, keep the variable. -6, -7, add the coefficients, keep the variable, and you're done. Why are you done when you get here? Because you've got no more like terms. Simple as that. So on 7, again, this is where I'm going to tell you to start. You may want to start just pausing the video so you can do them ahead of time. It's up to you. Again, I'm going to distribute that negative. The like terms are already gathered, so now I've just got to combine them. So I've got 7x minus 4x. So 7 minus 4 is 3, keep the variable, minus 3y. Nothing I can do to that, no more like terms, so I move on. So now when I get to this one, you see that again that I'm subtracting this polynomial, this big polynomial from this. Now, when we look inside this parentheses, you should notice something, and that is we've got like terms inside the parentheses. So we're going to combine them before we try to subtract. It's always easier to do this first. So 5x and negative 4x is 1x. If you don't need the 1, don't worry. I'm just putting it in there for those who do. And then I have 9y and 3y, so that's 12y. And now I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that parentheses by distributing the negative. There's my like terms sitting together, so I've got 8x minus 1x, so we get 7x. Again, I see that I don't have any more like terms, so I'm done. Now this one I've got some adding and some subtracting, so again you've got to pay attention to what's in front of you. So here this first term, this first binomial, a minus 4, there's nothing in front of it, there's nothing going on there, so I can drop that parentheses if I want to. So I'm just going to do a minus 4. And then this is plus 3a, so I just bring it down. And now I've got a negative, so put in the negative if you need it. We're going to distribute that to get rid of negative 2a, so we're getting rid of the parentheses, plus 1. Now I'm going to put the like terms together. You may want to put that 1 coefficient there. That can be really helpful for many students. So I've got 1a plus 3a minus 2a. So that's that, that, and that. And now I've got negative 4 and positive 1. So combining my like terms, 4a minus 2a minus 4 plus 1. 4a minus 2a is 2a. Minus 4 plus 1. I'm going to write it out this way. 2a and negative 4 and positive 3 is, positive 1 is negative 3. Nothing else I can do there. So that is this polynomial in its most simplified form. So this is done. So now this one's a little bit more complicated. We see we've got all those negatives in here. We see that we've got a bracket. So again, order of operations says that I have to do what's in the bracket first, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring everything else down. So I've got 2x minus y, get rid of this parentheses, plus 3x minus 4y, and of course I can get rid of that parentheses because it's just an addition. Now I'm going to combine like terms inside the bracket. So again, I'm bringing everything down. 2x plus 3x is 5x, minus y minus 4y is negative 5y. Now I can start distributing the negative, and I'm just going to distribute the negative for all of these. So I distribute the negative for this one to get negative 3x, negative negative is positive 2y. Now I've got a negative again, so negative x. Maybe put in that 1 so we don't forget it's got a 1 coefficient. And do the same for the y, negative 1y. And now I'm going to distribute this negative. Because again, I've simplified everything I can inside that bracket, so I can get rid of it now. So negative 5x, negative negative, positive 5y. And now I'm going to rewrite this so all my like stuff is together. So I got my x's and my y's. X there, let's get that in there. So I've got negative 3x, negative 1x, and negative 5x. So you can do this all together if you want, or you can do it in a couple steps. These are all the same also. And then of course combine those, negative 9x. And the way you would do this if you wanted to do all three at once is you would have to sort of do a little bit in your head. So you do 2 minus 1 is 1. So do that. And then 1 plus 5 is 6. And then you look at that and you say to yourself, is there anything else I need to do? And the answer, of course, is no, because there's no more like terms. If you wanted to, you could rewrite this 6y minus 9x, that just buries the negative so we don't lose it. Again, I'm going to suggest that you maybe want to stop so you can do this one on your own. I'm going to go ahead and get to it so I don't make this video too long. The first parentheses, of course, we can just get rid of because there's nothing surrounding it, so I'm just going to cross that off. We don't need it. And now for those of you who want the 1, I'm just going to stick it in there. But remember, we're distributing to get rid of that second parentheses. So negative 17y squared, negative, negative, positive 9yz, negative, negative, positive 8z squared. And now I'm going to put like stuff together. So 6y squared minus 17y squared. So there's my y squareds. And now yz's, so plus 7yz plus 9yz. Just putting like terms together. Negative 8z squared, positive 8z squared. And of course this is one of my favorite things. It's the positive and the negative exactly the same. And when that happens, you know that's equal to 0, so you're done with it. You don't have to think about it again. And then we're going to combine these like terms and these like terms. So 6 minus 17, so that gives us 6 plus negative 17 for those of you who want to think of it that way. And positive 7 and positive 9 is positive 16. And that's all there is to it. We look at it, we see that obviously we don't have any more like terms. Again, sometimes people like to rewrite this just to bury that negative. Remember, we can move the terms around as long as it's all terms. But these are exactly the same. One isn't, from my perspective at this point in our math life, any better than the other.